I know it's the spooky month, but the news is beginning to sound a lot like the person who doesn't know the killer's right behind them. Good evening, party people. It's your favorite Aquarian auntie Yael, aka Fox News Blonde, and this is your news with a view. Up first, the big dropout. That's right, according to several news sources, college enrollment amongst undergraduates is actually on the decline. According to data from the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, enrollment in public four-year colleges and community colleges has struggled to rebound after the pandemic. It's cute the way they always find a way to blame pre-existing conditions on the pandemic, isn't it? College enrollments have dropped to their lowest level since 2007, leaving many to wonder what exactly is causing the decline. As a college graduate, I can venture a guess as to what might be causing it. Quick hint, it's not Corona. It might just have something to do with the crippling amounts of debt that you incur in order to get a degree that's not really going to pay you a whole lot, and that politicians can later use as a bargaining chip to get your votes. Here's looking at you, Joe and Kamala. Speaking of bold-faced liars, Facebook is firmly in the hot seat with the release of the Facebook Papers. That's right, the documents are all anyone can seem to talk about after Frances Haugen did her best Too Short impersonation and blew the whistle on Facebook and its fuckery. You know, I gotta say, it took guts for this lady to go before the SEC and basically confess to all of Facebook's sins. And I'm willing to bet it's because they didn't give her a pay raise. Not saying she's not ethical. It's just that corporate overlords have a hard time paying talented and outspoken people what they're worth so that they'll shut up and not say anything. These guys should really learn from the fucking mob. Or the police. I mean, when's the last time you seen a cop snitch on a department for unethical behavior? Speaking of mindless drones, corporate America is in a tizzy as it scrambles to try to figure out how the hell to attract workers during this tight labor market. Pick me, I know the answer. That's right, employers across several industries are facing higher labor costs as they realize that they might just have to start paying people a livable wage. I mean, you really gotta see some of these job postings for industries that claim to be short-staffed. Some of these places are offering wages that would require you to get a second job to get to that job. Oh, and you have to have a college degree. You know, so that you can properly contemplate how broke you are. Investment analysts are seeing this problem as one that may continue well into the future for many sectors. You think? With hope that at least some of the COVID-related pressure should ease off of employers in the coming months. How many ways do we have to say just pay us before these fuckers actually listen? All jokes aside though, this mass walk-off of jobs being turned by the media as the Great Resignation has been a long fucking time coming. And the stagnant wages are only one reason for it. Companies are way too comfortable with the way that they abuse and misuse employees, hoping for the gung-ho dedication of prior generations which gave no thought to their families, their welfare, or mental well-being. And while COVID is catching the flack for the reason why we're walking off of these jobs, the picture is far less simple than what they imagine. We've covered before that millennials as a generation, and even to some extent Generation Z, are a largely traumatized generation. I wouldn't say more than others, but given the prevalence of news and television and smartphones and technology in general, and well, the internet, we're in the unique position to realize how traumatized we are. And when you couple all of that with the fact that the majority of us have been largely overworked and underpaid since leaving college, I'm pretty sure a lot of us were this way during college, with the fact that many of us had to watch our parents and family members die from dealing with the shit that was the past year, it tends to create an awakening in the human spirit. And what corporate doesn't seem to understand anymore is that people are no longer searching for their identities inside of their careers or where they work anymore. They realize life is short and tragic and all of these other things. And they genuinely want to spend their time doing things that are going to be meaningful and that actually tackle the problems that are facing us as a general species. And this problem isn't just limited to the US either. Even London and several other places globally are complaining that they're running into these similar issues. And as much as I like to joke about the fact that money is probably one of the things that would help, it's not the only thing. People are searching for meaning and purpose in an age where there's information literally at our fingertips. People are wondering why we still have to suffer when we have so much technology at our disposal. I mean, you can get anything you want nowadays with the push of a button. If you know the right coupon codes, you could get a lot of that stuff damn near free plus shipping and handling. Years of just getting by is starting to get to us. Years of not feeling like we've made a proper contribution to society is starting to get to us. Years of operating functionally as a lost generation, as so many news articles like to put it, is absolutely getting to us. We were the ones who were told the children are the future, and the future's pretty fucking bleak. And a lot of us are walking away nowadays because we can afford to. As I mentioned, a lot of our parents are dying right now. And for those of us who were fortunate enough to have parents who had insurance plans and savings plans and all of those other things, we're coming into enough bread to say, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't need it. I know that's what I did a few years ago after my mom died. I spent 4 years in a call center basically being abused and then prepping to be a manager only to realize that I was just one bad day away from getting fired. And as a Black woman with a master's degree in psychology, that didn't sit well with me, especially not for no goddamn $15 an hour and 45 hours a week. Corporate America would do better with recruiting the labor that it needs to do the menial tasks and jobs that it needs it to do if it recognized that employees are human beings. I don't just mean HR's definition of human being. I mean people with lives, people with hobbies, people with families, people with obligations that go beyond whatever the company's needs are. Because contrary to popular belief, not all of us want to even be fucking entrepreneurs. Because who wants to take on all of that stress and work on top of having a full-time job and family? And a lot of us don't mind trading our labor as long as we get time to do whatever the fuck we want on our off time. So corporate, if you want to attract more employees that are going to give you the things that you need in order to grow and continue to remain the profit-generating machines that you are, you're going to have to realize that your workers have identities outside of your company. And those identities aren't a challenge to what it is that you have going on, no matter what the internet seems to think otherwise. Pay your people well. Give them time off to pursue their life and their dreams, and give them the support and resources that they need in order for them to pursue what it is that they want to do. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to turn this labor shortage that you guys have concocted into an advantage that will allow you to remain competitive for years to come. Or you can keep offering $2,000 sign-on bonuses and wondering why people keep ghosting you after 120 days. Your call, Chief. Should we make a Google Docs list with all the places that are offering big sign-on bonuses and how bullshit the jobs are? I think it'll be useful.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content for the Black Sheep.